I think a lot of you know I have this fantasy series called The Crown and the Cage God. That's the paperback. For those who have read it, you know how maniacal I am about the biological believability of its bestiary, right? Its bestiary. And in reading fantasy literature and playing fantasy games and watching shows and movies, I realized not that many other people are maniacs about curating the bestiary. And one of the best examples is probably Magic the Gathering. I've played this game forever. I was a 7th grader when 3rd edition revised came out. It was huge. I remember how important it was, at least to me and my friends. The summer after 7th grade is when Legends came out and The Dark came out. I remember that one more vividly, that launch more vividly than any other. Here's the Leviathan, right? That's the playmat I still use today because I still think it's the coolest card in the game, even though it's totally unusable. But creatures I think are the most interesting card type. And fast forward the world a little bit, and now I'm in high school. I'm a sophomore when Wizards of the Coast starts doing cycles. And so the first one was Vision and Mirage and Weatherlight. And I'm a senior when the 3rd block comes out, Urza's block. That one was huge. But when a new block cycles in, the old one cycles out. So we have these life cycles of creatures that, the new generation spawns and the old one is retired, at least in the standard play. And in more than 3 decades of spawning new generations of creatures, not one lineage has developed resistance to Swords to Plowshares. This is the 3rd edition revised one, but it was printed in alpha, it was printed in beta, and then unlimited, and then 3rd edition. And they just keep printing this. Every year this thing comes out. It's in every deck that permits it. I bet this card has been played 1 billion times, and never has a lineage developed spell resistance, kill spell, removal spell resistance. Now think about the biological equivalent of this. Sort of the farmer's equivalent would be pesticides. Just a few generations, a few life cycles of pesticide use and the fruit flies and whatever develop resistance to it. The same is true with rodents. The same is true with weeds and herbicides, with bacteria and antibiotics. That's what happens in nature, in real life. But in Magic, kill spell resistance, removal spell resistance never develops. That's my problem with Magic's bestiary. And it's my problem with a lot of fantasy media, but that's a topic for another time. Okay, I hope you enjoy. If you play Magic, I hope you win. If you're eating fruit, I hope it has no pesticides on it. All right, bye everyone. See you next time.